Okay, so getting yourself settled, taking a few moments to make yourself comfortable in whatever seated position you find most comfortable. As far as possible, sitting up tall and straight, relaxing your shoulders down towards the ground, lengthening through your neck. Bringing your chin so it's kind of parallel to the floor and the ground of your head, so it's just facing up towards the sky. And really getting a sense of feeling grounded down into the floor, through your legs, through your feet, through your bum, whatever's in contact with the ground. And then when you're ready, you can gently close your eyes. And just for a moment, let's take our awareness out. So you can, if you want, even keep your eyes open and look around, but take your hearing out and notice what's going on around you in the way of sound or even vision that you can see. Notice what you're feeling on your skin. Is there anything that you can taste? And is there anything that you can smell? And then if you did open your eyes, you can gently close them again. So we're just starting to bring our awareness in by simply closing the eyes. We're already taking the awareness in. And then start to direct your awareness more inwards and see if you can perhaps hear any sounds from within your body. What can you feel from the inside of your body?
It's probably yours, love. Have you done a speak?
Notice, can you feel, can you hear your heartbeat or your breath? And how does your physical body, what is your experience of your physical body this morning? How do the legs feel? And the arms? What about the front of your body? And then the back? How does your neck feel, the back of your neck? The head, what sensations can you experience in your head? And in the face? Could you perhaps bring a little smile to your face? Now take your awareness to your breath and feel the gentle rhythm of your breath moving in and out. Noticing the movement that the breath creates as you breathe in and then as you breathe out. That gentle rise and fall, expansion and relaxation. And what is your experience of your mind this morning? Is your mind very busy? Is it tranquil? Perhaps somewhere in between? And what kind of thoughts are running through your mind today? Are they uplifting? Or are they a little worrisome, a little sad? and noticing how you're feeling emotionally. What's standing out for you most emotionally at the moment? Just taking a nice deep breath in now, and as you exhale, you can perhaps exhale that breath out through your mouth or through your nose. Just letting go of any tightness, any tensions, any worries or doubts. Let's just do that a couple more times, inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling it out either through the nose or through the mouth. And with a real sense of letting go, letting go of any worries or doubts, anything that might be holding you back at the moment. And then bringing your hands together in front of your heart, palms together with the thumbs slightly pressing towards the sternum. And taking a moment now to make an intention for yourself for the class this morning. Maybe to be aware of your breath throughout the class, or to really ground into the floor, whatever part of your body is on the floor. Perhaps to be kind to yourself. Whatever it is, make an intention for the class today. And then when you've made that intention, gently bow your chin to your chest. As you inhale now, bring your head back up and at the same time raise your arms up above your head. You may like to keep the hands together, or you could perhaps separate them, bringing them up as wide or as low as you like, as high and or as low. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. And then exhaling and bringing the palms back together as you bring them back down to your heart. With the next inhale, we're going to take them up again, but this time we're going to take them out to the sides. And again, just up as far as feels comfortable for you, bringing the hands up, perhaps joining them together, but perhaps keeping a gap between the palms. Again, up to you. Lengthen through the sides, front and back of your body, keeping your seat nice and grounded. As you exhale this time, bring your arms out to the sides and all the way down to the floor. Rest your fingers on the floor, rest your hands, depending on how long your arms are. You might get your palms down or you might prefer to stay up in your fingertips. As you inhale now, bring one arm up and over, stretching over to the side. And as you exhale, lowering the arm back down. Really nice, slow, controlled movements, noticing how it all feels as you make the movements. Inhaling up with the other side, lengthening through the sides of your body. Being aware of your breath. Exhaling and bringing that hand down. And then let's do that one more time on each side, just following the rhythm of your breath and what your body would like to do. You might even like to pause for a breath as you hold this breath. You can decide what you would like to do. And then when you've done both sides, just grounding your hands once more on the floor. Imagine now you've got that string, that invisible string attached to the crown of your head, and someone is pulling you up from that string. So as you inhale, lengthen as if you're being pulled up from the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, turn yourself to one side, taking whichever side you're turning towards, that hand behind you, and the other hand onto your opposite knee. Inhaling with returning to center, having that sense of length through the spine, being pulled up by the crown of your head. And as you exhale, turn to the other side. Inhaling, coming back to the center, lengthening tall. Exhaling again to the first side. And then pause here and take a few nice deep breaths. And then we're going to move the head side to side. So you can turn your head to look over the left shoulder or the opposite shoulder. And then back again to look in the direction that you're turning. And just do that 2 more times. So turning the head to look away from the direction that you're turning in. And then turn back towards it. 1 more time. And now look with your eyes in the direction that you're going and see if that helps you turn your chest just a little bit more into the twist. See, just by looking with the eyes, if you can take your chest a little bit more. And then coming back to the center as you inhale, lengthening tall. And then as you exhale, twisting the other way. And again, pausing for a moment, breathing. And then slowly turning the head side to side. Three times in all. And then as you turn it back into the direction that you are going in, look with your eyes and see if you can take the chest with you just a little bit more. Come back to the center now as you inhale, lengthen tall through the body. And then slowly start to walk your hands forward, bringing your body forward, folding over your crossed legs. Coming down just as far as it feels comfortable, relaxing the head and neck. Coming back up slowly, sitting up tall, engaging the core to help you sit up. Taking your hands behind you, just rest your hands on the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the heart towards the sky. Take a few nice deep breaths there. Always be aware of how this is feeling for your body. Does it feel okay? Do you need to modify anything slightly? What makes it work for your body? Release. And then we're going to do that again, but crossing the legs the other way. So bring the one that's at the front to the back. If you have your legs crossed, if not, you can just do it again with the legs as they are. And then walk yourself forwards. Allow yourself to come down towards the floor. Take a few breaths as you hold it. Come back up slowly as you inhale. Take your hands behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and once more lift the chest towards the sky. Breathing into your chest, nice open chest. You can raise the chin as high as it feels comfortable. Try to keep length in the back of the neck, though. You don't want to be squashing the back of the neck. And then slowly releasing, coming back to the center, sitting tall for a moment. So let's gently move towards all fours. So however you want to get that. And remember, if you want to put some padding under your knees, a cushion or a blanket or anything else. So taking your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Spreading out the fingers a little so you've got a nice base of your hands. And as far as possible, really try to align the knees under the hips. Just take a moment here in this table pose and try to align as well your head with your spine. So you're not letting the head drop down and you're not having your head up. You want to try and keep it so you're kind of looking down at the floor between your hands. And then as you inhale, start to lift the tailbone up towards the sky, which will encourage the back to move down, shoulders away from the ears and the head to move up. As you exhale, curl that tailbone under and feel the effect of that ripple all the way up into the spine, arching the back up, tucking your chin under, shoulders move towards your shoulders, to your ears. And just moving in between those two, cat and cow. Inhaling, spine flexes, and exhaling it round. So let's just do one more of these, being really conscious of the movement of our spine, feeling the undulation flow up and down. And then coming back to a neutral flat back and stepping the right leg back, nice and long, extending the heel back, engaging the buttock and the thigh, and then slowly lifting the leg up. So the foot's just kind of at the height of the hip. You don't want to height the leg up too much. Try and keep it at the level of the hip. And then if you like, you can lift the opposite arm and stretch them away from each other, arm and leg. Exhaling, bringing the hand down to the floor, bringing the foot onto the floor, keep the leg long, and then just sort of semicircle the foot around behind you, and you might want to swivel the bottom leg a little bit to make it more comfortable, and then open the chest to the sky. And you can raise the arm, or you can also keep the hand down, just open the chest, depending on how that feels for your shoulder. Just opening to the side, you can look up as well. Really try to open the chest towards the sky, creating space. Exhaling, bringing it back down, bringing the hands and the knee back down to the floor. Pausing for a moment, perhaps if you like, do a little cat-cow. Inhale, flex, exhale, to round. Coming back to neutral and extending your left leg. Nice strong back leg, extending into that heel, and imagine the connection between the heel and the crown of your head. So really feel that length from heel to crown. And then when you're ready, slowly lift the leg up so that it's just to the height of the hip. And then if you like, you can lift the other arm, opposite arm, and just reach the arm and the leg away from each other from the center. Exhaling, bringing the hand and the foot down to the floor, and then gently doing a little semicircle behind you with the foot, letting the other foot just adjust as necessary, and opening up on the second side. Keep breathing, nice, smooth and easy breaths. And then slowly bringing the hand and the knee back down to the floor. And then just let your hips sink back onto your heels for a moment. Keep the arms outstretched and tuck them back by your feet. You may like to even rest your head on your hands. Whatever way meets your head. And you can even use a block or a cushion there as well. Just settle yourself into child pose for a moment. Just take a few deep breaths. And then we're going to come back up, come back onto all fours, tuck your toes under, and we're going to walk our hands back towards, so you're going to sit back onto your heels. So this can be quite intense for the feet. So just notice how that feels. You can, if you like, you can spread your toes out a little. And if it feels okay, you can sit all the way up and let all your weight go down. So you're stretching out the backs of the feet. If this is too intense, just stay leaning forwards a bit. So you've got a bit of a stretch going on in the toes and the feet, but it's not painful. So then from wherever you are, whether it's upright or leaning forwards, take your hands alongside your knees and just push your knees off the floor. So you're then kind of like squatting on your toes and sit up as tall as you can, and if possible, bring your hands to your head. If you don't balance very easily, just keep your hands on the floor for a little bit of extra balance. And just try to sit up as tall as you can, whether you've got your hands on the floor or at the heart. So we're going to bring the hands back down to the floor now. And slowly, slowly bring the heels towards the floor as we extend the legs, lifting the hips up and just folding over into a forward fold. So keep the knees bent so your belly stays sort of in contact with your legs. And then just let yourself kind of flow over your legs. You might like to even wriggle a little bit side to side. Perhaps even shake out your head and neck a little. Adjust your feet if you feel like, I do, I feel like I want my feet a little bit wider. So if that feels right for you, you can do that. Or you can bring them narrower as well. And now really focus on pressing your feet into the floor, the fronts of the feet and the heels. And as you inhale, rise up to standing, rolling your spine up. Really pressing down into the floor to help you rise. Unroll your shoulders. Perhaps even give the shoulders a few rolls back as you come up, bringing the head on top of the spine. And just taking a few nice deep breaths, letting your shoulders relax. Standing tall in mountain pose. And just taking a few moments now to notice, to feel yourself in a standing position. And how is that feeling for you today, this morning? So let's take a step forwards with the right foot. And as you do so, you can turn the back foot so that it goes out to a slight angle. So it's sort of facing out towards the left side of the mat slightly. The hips and the chest will stay to face forwards. Just ground here for a moment and bend the right knee until it's above the ankle. So we're coming into the warrior one pose. Really just get your stance nice and solid first. And if you like, you can really move the feet towards the edges of the mat. Sometimes that helps a lot for stability. So you can experiment with having your feet much narrower, in sort of more in the midline of the mat, or moving them out towards the edges of the mat. And just find where it feels most comfortable and most stable for you. And then once you've got that, really grounding the back foot, the front foot, and if you can imagine lengthening from right down in the hips, and you start the length from there, and the lengthening goes up through the body, and then once it reaches your armpits, you're going to let that lengthening raise your arms up towards the sky as well. And again, you can keep your hands together or apart. Nice deep breaths here. Now inhale and straighten your front leg, and as you exhale, reach out over the leg. Bring the hands onto perhaps the thigh or lower down if you reach lower down. Lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and then as you exhale, fold yourself down towards your leg. Let your hands slide down just as far as they'll go. Relax for a few minutes here, take a few breaths. Lengthen through your spine as you inhale and come back up to standing. Always use a bit of pressure down into the floor to help you stand back up straight. Bend the front knee again, so we're back in that warrior stance. And you can try putting your hands on your hips. You can try having your hands out to the side, like this, up above your head, or just stretching the hands down to the floor. Because what we're going to do now is the warrior 3 balance pose. So let's just keep the hands sort of around the hips, waist area to begin with. And we're just going to shift the weight forwards. So your back foot's still on the floor, but you've really not got much weight on it. And then take it back onto the back foot, so you equal weight again. Shift it forwards, all the weight comes off the back foot. And then take it back down again. So this time shift it forwards. And try as far as possible to try and move the body and the leg like one piece. Start to shift, lifting the leg, letting the body move towards like a seesaw kind of position. And perhaps you might like to stretch your arms out to the sides or above your head. Extending out in all directions. So extending down into the floor through your standing leg, extending into the lifted foot, extending out into the arms, into the crown of your head. And then slowly, slowly, slowly bringing it back again into the warrior 1. With arms up or down. You can even have your hands at the heart here. This is just a really nice option as well. Relax and step yourself back. So back to the back of the mat again. Take a moment into Tadasana. Just notice how that all feels. Take a breath or two. Settle yourself. Notice how the right side feels, how the left side feels. And then step your left foot forwards this time. Right foot goes out. Find that nice stable posture with the legs wherever it works for you. Come on then. And then when you're ready, bend the front knee. Keeping the chest and the hips facing front, lengthening from your hips all the way up into the armpits, and then allow that to take your arms up towards the sky. Or just keep the hands at the heart is another really nice option as well. Just have that sense of length up into the crown of the head. Pausing here, just nice deep breaths, really grounded on your feet. Inhale to straighten the front leg now. And as you exhale, fold yourself forwards and down. Bring the hands onto the leg, maybe the thigh, maybe lower down. Lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, lower yourself down as low as feels comfortable for you. Keep a little bit of softness in this front leg. Don't be pushing into the back of the knee, but keep the leg as straight as you possibly can with the softness. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to slowly come back up, pressing the feet into the floor to help you rise. And all the way back up. Bending that front knee, left knee, hands on the hips. And let's just shift the weight backwards and forwards. So taking the weight forwards, taking all the weight on that front leg, so really no weight on the back one, and then bringing it back. So just training your front leg, letting it know what's going to happen next. Shifting it forwards, taking it back. All the while trying to maintain the integrity of the leg and the body so they move as one. Taking it forwards, and then starting to lift the back leg, move the body with it. Do whatever you like with your arms out to the sides, up above your head. Extend out in all directions, down into the floor, out into the limbs, into the crown of your head. And then slowly bringing it back down into that warrior one with as much control as possible. Relaxing the arms and gently stepping back to the back of the mat once more. Again, take a moment in Tadasana. So let's turn ourselves so that we're facing the long side of the mat now. Both feet are facing towards the long side of the mat. Legs are as wide as feels comfortable. And we're just going to move side to side. So you can just place one hand on the thigh and bring the other arm up as high as feels comfortable, all the way up if you like, but you don't have to be. Lengthen through both sides of the body, and as you exhale, stretch over to the side. And as you do that, try not to let your body twist. Try to keep the pelvis stable, so you're just moving from the side body. Doesn't mean to say force it to stay there. If it moves a little bit, fine, but just know that you're not kind of trying to go into this. Relax down. Bring the other one up. Take it over to the side. So you try to keep the chest facing front. And don't want to let the hips swivel as far as possible. Come back up to the front, up to the center. And now we're going to turn one foot out so it's at a right angle. And perhaps if you like, slide the back heel back a little bit. Take the arms out. And this time we're going to slide sideways into triangle pose. Bringing the hand down onto the leg somewhat, other arm goes up towards the sky, or you can rest it onto your hip, just opening the chest. Whichever version you're doing, arm up or on the hip, rotate your chest towards the sky, look up towards the sky, or down to the floor. Lengthen through your spine, crown to tailbone, tailbone to crown. Again, use that sense of pressing down into the floor with your feet to inhale and allow yourself to rise. Relax the arms, bringing the feet back into parallel. And then turn the left foot out. The right heel goes back if it feels comfortable. Arms out to the sides. Reaching out over the left leg now as far as feels comfortable. Bringing the hand down onto the leg. Trying to make a line with the arms as far as possible, but again, if you want to bring your hand onto the hip, that's also great. You can also in this posture take your arm right over your head. This is another version of the triangle pose. It's a little bit more intense. So just breathing, lengthening from tailbone to crown. A little bit of softness in your knees. The legs are straight, but the knees are still soft. Pressing down into the floor with your feet and inhaling to rise. Exhaling to relax the arms And gently wriggle your feet together now. So your feet about hip width apart, more or less. Bend the knees. So actually bend the knees quite a bit. And then we're going to roll down. So tuck your chin first of all. And then once your chin is tucked, let the weight of your head start to pull the shoulders and the chest down. And then you'll feel the belly start to contract. Contract it in. Let yourself roll down, maybe bending the knees even more as you go down. Rolling down, rolling down, rolling down. All the way down as far as feels comfortable. Wriggle it out a little bit. Maybe sway a little side to side. You might like to take your elbows with the hands if you reach the floor. And just sway a little side to side. Get some nice fluid movements. Imagine you're like a waterfall flowing over and you're just moving like the water might flow over the edge of a waterfall. And then let your arms hang back down to the floor and pressing into the floor with your feet, roll yourself back up to standing. And all the way up to standing, unrolling your shoulders, lifting your head, and once more standing tall into Tadasana. Take a few deep breaths. Now, if possible, try to do this next move without changing the position of your feet. So shift your weight to one side. And this is a little bit challenging because already I want to move my foot. So shift the weight to one side, bring the knee up towards the chest, take it out to the side and place it on your leg somewhere for tree pose. So it doesn't have to be high, it can be right down low by the ankle. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and really lengthen tall. Ground your foot down into the floor and again have that connection between foot and ground. So you're earthed into the floor with your foot and yet the crown is rising towards the sky. Watch your breath, find your focus point, your drishti. And when you're ready, slowly release. Bring the foot back down. Settle yourself for a moment on both feet. And then again, trying not to move the foot you're going to stand on. Shift your weight over. Bring the knee up towards the chest. Take it out to the side. Bring it onto the legs somewhere. Bring your hands to your heart and pause in tree pose. Find your drishti, your gaze point. Grounding into the floor with your foot as you rise tall to the ground of your head. Spreading out your toes. Keeping your breath nice and smooth and even. Relaxing the arms, relaxing the leg, and once more grounding yourself. Take a moment here. And then however you would like, lie down on the floor. So however you want to get yourself there, you can lie yourself down on the floor. Extend the legs out. Bring your hands out to the sides with the palms up and just take a few moments to settle yourself in. And then let go of all effort for a moment. Let's just let our body integrate those standing postures. Just noticing how the body's feeling. Allowing your weight to really sink into the floor. Perhaps imagining that you're being held by the ground. As you give your weight into the ground, know that the floor is giving you support. So it's a give and take. You're taking the support from the ground, but you're giving your weight to the ground. So don't try holding on, because the more you hold on with your muscles, the less support you will receive. The more you can let go, the more you can give, the more support you will receive. And this is a good thing to remember in life, because when we give, we receive. If we hold on to what we've got and don't give it out, then it doesn't increase. Whereas if we give things, then we receive things as well. So slowly now draw one leg up towards your body, and then slowly draw the other leg up towards the body. So your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are bent. Ground your feet nice and step firmly, spread your toes out. And just for a moment, notice where you've got your feet placed. How does this feel? And does it feel really comfortable for your low back? And then notice if you slid your feet a little bit further away, what happens to your low back? And if you slid your feet a little bit further in, what happens to the low back? And then find somewhere in between those that feels the most comfortable for you. So just finding the most comfortable spot for your feet, so that not too close, not too far away from your bum, but just so that you can really use the feet and integrate them into the posture. So hands alongside your body now, you can have the palms down or flip the palms up if you prefer. Take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, press the back down into the floor. As you inhale now, lift the hips up away from the floor into a bridge pose. So just coming up, just quite gently to begin with, don't go up too high. Hold it for a breath or two. Noticing how this all feels, noticing what muscles you're having to use. Where do you feel like you're contracting muscles? Where do you feel like the muscles are more relaxed or lengthened? And then slowly, slowly, slowly roll it back down. Pause for a moment at the bottom and just let yourself melt into the ground. And let's do that again. Press the back down as you exhale into the floor, and then as you inhale, engage and lift up towards the sky. And maybe this time you could come a little higher. Maybe you could shift your shoulders a little underneath the body. Perhaps you could reach a little bit closer towards your feet with your fingers. Does your chest come a little closer to your chin? Nice deep breath. Exhale and roll the spine back down to the floor. See if you can imagine putting one vertebra at a time down, as if you're laying a string of pearls down onto the ground, one by one. Relax all effort when you're down. So now bring one knee towards the chest, so the leg is still bent. And then exhale, ground the back into the floor. Inhale, lift the hips up with the leg bent. So you're just using one leg now to lift you. And then if you can, lift, straighten that leg up. See if you can lift a little higher with the hips. Bend the knee, bring it back towards the chest. And again, slowly lower the back down like that string of pearls, just laying it out on the mat as you roll down your vertebra one by one. Bring the foot back down to the floor and relax your effort. Bring the other knee up. Leg stays bent to begin with. Press down into the floor with your back and your foot and lift your hip up towards the sky. Notice all the muscles that are engaging to help you do this. Lift the leg towards the sky if it feels comfortable. Keep breathing. A little bit of strong work for the glutes here. Bend the knee again towards the chest and slowly, slowly, slowly roll it down. Bring your feet to the floor. Ground both feet nice and firmly. Ooh, take a moment. And if you like, you might want to bring your knees towards your chest and perhaps either rock a little side to side or make some circles or even a bit of both. If you're doing circles, make sure you go back the other way a few times with those circles. And then bring your feet down to the floor and separate your feet so that they're sort of towards the edge of the mat and the knees are kind of flopping together in the center. So we don't have to be super wide, this is wide it feels comfortable. Take your arms out to the sides so that they're at shoulder height. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your knees drop to one side and look the other way. Pause there for a moment, just breathe. With an exhale, draw the knees to center. And as you inhale, let them drop the other way. Try to look away from the direction of the knees, so you're looking in the opposite direction. Exhale, bring the knees back to center. Inhale, drop them down to the first side, looking the other way. Exhale, bringing the knees to the center. And inhaling, dropping them over the other side. And back to the center. And pausing there in the center. Wiggle your feet back together so they're about hip width apart again. Arms down beside your body. Now lengthen the legs long. So we're going to do a little bit of core work from the floor. Just going to have a little quick check on the one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the low boat pose. So in some ways this is harder than the higher up boat pose. So what we're going to do is as we exhale, you're going to lift the legs, the body and the arms just a little bit off the floor and tense the whole body. And then as you inhale, lower it back down. Okay, so let's try. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring it up. Tense everything. And when you're ready, inhale and lower it nice and slowly with control back to the floor. So lowering it down nice and slow with control is important. So try your best to do that. So take an inhale, exhale to come up. Slowly inhale it back to the floor. Relax. So we're going to do that one more time. When you're ready, come up. Squeeze. And then slowly lower it back down. Let your whole body just relax into the floor now. Separate your feet a little. Arms can be out to the side. You might like to rest your hands on your body. You might like to cover yourself with a blanket. Prepare yourself for Shavasana. Soften all the little tight bits that are remaining in your body. Are there any little areas perhaps in your shoulders or your hips or your jaw that are holding on a little bit tight. So just take your mind around your body and notice, are there any of those little areas that are holding on tight still? And if there are, then just gently smooth them out with the breath. Take the breath into the tight areas as you inhale, and as you exhale, have that sense of smoothing it out, releasing that holding, that tightness, just allowing yourself to melt into the ground. Tell yourself in your mind now, I am completely relaxed and at ease. This is my time to let go. There's nothing for me to do right now, and nowhere for me to go. I allow myself to relax completely. I relax my body, I relax my mind, my breath. I relax my whole being. I am at ease with myself. I am at ease with the world. I am relaxed, peaceful. As and when you're ready now, start to slowly bring some awareness back into the room. Bring your awareness to your own body, lying on the floor in Shavasana. Become aware of your surroundings. Become aware of the floor beneath you, sky above you. And start to make gentle movements with your fingers and your toes. Taking a deeper breath in and just imagining sending that breath down into your limbs, bringing some energy, some vitality into the limbs. Moving your wrists, your ankles, elbows and knees. Beginning to stretch out in whatever way feels good today. Perhaps at some point you would like to hold your knees towards your chest. Again, perhaps rocking side to side or making circles or a combination of both. And then rolling over to one side and pausing there for a moment, just taking a moment to observe. When you're ready, sitting up slowly into a comfortable seated position. So let's finish with a little bit of pranayama. We're going to do the Kapalbhati, which we haven't done for ages. So remember that Kapalbhati is a strong exhale, and at the same time as strongly exhaling, you pull your belly back towards your spine. Wind out the way. So you pump the belly in as you exhale, and then you just release it as you inhale. And it's really the release of the belly that allows the inhale to come in. Because when you release the belly, the inhale just gets drawn in, the breath gets drawn into the lungs. So you don't have to really think about the inhale, it kind of just happens when you release your belly. So we're going to do, you can have a little practice of that just to remember. So just pumping the breath, pumping the belly as you exhale the breath and then releasing it as the inhale to allow the inhale. And then we're going to do 3 rounds of that, of 20 in each round, taking 2 deep breaths in between each round at the beginning and at the end. So it will be 5 sets of 2 deep breaths and 3 sets of Kapalbhati, pumping breath. So sitting up nice and tall and straight, relaxing your shoulders. Whatever your sitting posture is, it can be on a chair if you prefer. And then let's take the 2 deep breaths. Just remember that before you start your exhale, take a normal inhale, not a really deep inhale, just a normal inhale. And on your last exhale of the Kapalbhati, really exhale it out long so that you've then got the space to take that deep inhale. So when we're ready, let's take a nice deep inhale. And slowly exhale it out, nice and long. Again, deep in and out. And then inhaling normally to begin your first round, 20 pumps. Last exhale, nice and long. And then get ready for your 2 deep inhale and exhale. Normal inhale to begin the second round. One last round of deep inhale, deep exhale, 2 rounds. Deep breaths over. And then let go, relax completely. Just notice how you feel after Kapalabhati. Always there. Now just noticing your breath going in and out of your nostrils. And then begin to gently, when you exhale, blow the breath out through the mouth as if you were blowing a bubble. So you know when we have the kids' bubbles, and you want to blow nice and softly so the bubble doesn't burst. So you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling out softly through the mouth as if you're blowing a bubble. And just continue with this nice, soft, easy breathing. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth as if you're blowing a bubble. Gently extending the exhale, lengthening the exhale if you can, if it feels comfortable. And now the next time you exhale, turn that blowing a bubble into making a humming sound. So keeping the mouth closed and just creating a humming sound in the throat, a humming bee breath, Brahmana. For your next exhale now, just relax the practice completely. Let the breath come back to its natural rhythm and just take a few moments observing how you're feeling after that breathwork practice. Now bringing your hands together in front of your heart and taking a moment now just to remember back how you felt at the beginning of the class. How you felt physically, mentally, emotionally, how was your breath? Just taking a moment now to observe how you're feeling now. And remember back to your intention that you made for the class. Did you remember to work with it during the class? And now making yourself an intention for the week ahead. And that could be something like I'll be aware or mindful of what I think and what I say and what I do. Or it could be perhaps staying away from negative news. It could be being kind to yourself. Make an intention for your week. And then let's chant Om together to finish the practice. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. And inhale again to begin. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale to stretch the arms up. And exhale to fold yourself forwards and down. Sharangatha Mudra, surrender pose. Surrendering to the universe, to Mother Nature, and to all that comes our way. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling, bringing the hands back to the heart. And taking a moment to say thank you to yourself for making the effort to practice today. For making the effort to work on yourself. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.